Hello, everyone. This time I'm continuing my series on every 1,000 games. Not a very long series, but this is the 3,000th game of Homeworlds finished on Board Game Arena. This is between Seeger and Hydra Alcoholico, who I think I casted one game of before. They've played about 70 games of Homeworlds, not showing to be one of the strongest players, but I think, you can't play 70 games without picking up a few things. Seeger, however, is really quite good. I'm expecting T. Seeger to win this very quickly, which is why I have a backup game ready to go in case we need to put in something more to make this video worthwhile. Seeger takes a yellow banker. Hydraulico takes a green-starred fortress with yellow ship. I feel like that's about one of the weakest starts there is. I hate green stars and I don't like the fortress. Let's see where we get. Hydra trying to hurrying their way along the yellow economy. That's not a bad idea. Seeger's got a yellow star. Yeah, I respect that for sure. Hydra, though, instead of keeping their yellow monopoly-ish, trades for green. Doesn't want to get left out, I think. So Seeger needs to be careful not to build that last green, or they could lose, since Hydra's got a large yellow. I think Seeger's good enough to not fall for that. Okay, Seeger putting Hydra's green star in some danger. So Hydra spreads out. So Hydra, you can see Hydra's not a total newcomer because they're dodging some of these problems. Seeger trades green for blue. Hydra pushes the yellow forward. Still no reds in the game. Pretty even, I mean, in most ways, material and positioning wise. Hydro sacrificing green for yellow and green. Ooh, a green teleport. That puts 3 greens back at home. Hydro might mess this up. Nope. Took it back. Good. Build a little yellow. Seeger's starting to run away with blue. Hydro needs to look to that pretty quickly. Okay, Hydro turning to red. If I'm Seeger, I don't like the idea of trading any of my ships for red. Every ship is the only ship of its kind in its system. That blue was redundant, though, in a blue-starred system, so I guess that's a pretty good choice. It does put small blue back in the bank, might make it easier for Hydro to get into the blue soon. Oh, I definitely don't like this. Moving a red, so turning this red into a Gilligan. This red wouldn't be able to leave, and it's also leaving its medium-sized defender, so that makes it a good target for invasion. I think that's quite a poor move. It even takes a medium green out of the bank. Well, let's see. Is that part so bad? I guess maybe Hydro thought that Seeger would build the small green and Hydro would get the large green, but I don't think Seeger's going to fall for that. Seeger builds blue, locking the blues into the medium level. Hydro sacrificing the green for a couple of yellow builds. Oh no, this is terrible. Seeger moves into medium yellow. Hydro's down to 3 ships. Yeah, good to take that back. Okay, Hydro. Trying to get all those green stars out of the bank. I guess they're really worried about Seeger building more green, but Hydro can build green too. It's not quite as bad as all that, I think. Yeah, Seeger merrily building more blues. No. Okay, Hydro Um, it's too late. Um, Hydro, I think, needed to build a few more ships in Bleb, move one of them to a blue star that wasn't connected to where Seeger was building their blue, and then trade for blue there. Now, Hydro's just setting themselves up for enormous pressure on their stars. They've got ships patching each of their stars. The Seeker trades for yellow. Hydro can't build blue. Oh, well, they can build blue, but they shouldn't. All right, Seeger moves in a little blue for an overpopulation. I have done that. In fact, I've done that recently in a game where I was already going to lose and just didn't play well. Yep, that's game. Hydro concedes. Okay, well, definitely a mistake there. Thank you for joining me for game number 3000. That's one of the troubles about picking games by numbers. You get a sort of a random game, and it turns out the average Homeworlds game is not all that good. It's a game that's so easy to make huge mistakes in that the average game is going to have a huge blunder and end that way. So, for a follow-up, I recently watched a video with I made a video. I don't know what order these are going to be released in, but so maybe you haven't seen that video yet. But I casted a game where Algol lost, and Algol's been playing quite a bit. I'd like to be able to look at them as an up and comer. They've had some good victories. The trouble is, once I know that a game is a good victory, I don't want to cast that game because I know the outcome and I don't get to be surprised. So I'm picked a game where they played somebody again. Just like in the last video, I picked a game where they played someone who I don't know how good they are. I haven't looked at a lot of Roger Wood games. Don't know if they're particularly strong. So I will learn about both players in this game. And I want to give Algol another chance. So here we go. Algol taking Fortress. I don't love the Fortress. Roger taking, oh my goodness. Wow. Taking a small red Gemini. I think of this as one of the worst Homeworlds. Makes it a microverse. Although, so Roger is accelerating the red and blue economies by picking two smalls, but those are also the colors that Algol has in their homeworld. So it's not as bad as it could be. Both players will have a little trouble getting red and blue ships. It makes it a microverse. The homeworlds are connected to each other, so both players have really got to be careful. Okay, they build and trade for yellow right away. Continue building, get through some of this. Trading for red. Yeah, Algol, I'm glad they realized this early on, that this is a microverse. And if you build that, if you build one more red, then you're going to lose a star. Algol's spreading out. Okay, Roger, though, since Algol abandoned the position where they could, they're abandoned the position. It's their homeworld. You can't abandon the homeworld. They moved the little red out of their homeworld, which is the only system that was connected to Roger's home. Roger's therefore free to build a medium. Okay, Algol gets the other medium. Now what? Roger trades out for a medium yellow. That can be quite strong. The medium yellows are less important than in a small universe, since the homeworlds are already connected. Sending a ship from one homeworld to the other is very easy here. Don't even need the medium yellow for it, but medium yellow lets you reach the colonies instantly if the need arises. And Roger gets another medium red if they want it. Yeah, I don't think that's bad. Roger's... So I always think these positions are interesting, where Algol has the advantage of having spread out. They've got two colonies. But Algol's not using this colony all that well. They've only got one color ship in it. Algol will need to get more creative to get full use. Well, Roger has managed to continue to keep up in the bank game without having to spend that time, even one turn, moving to another colony. So they've actually got ahead on material here. Algol spreading out the blue. Roger advancing the red to a blue system. It can't build there. Roger, I'm guessing, is looking for a shopping spree. Pushing the yellow forward instead. It's an interesting choice. I don't know why they want the blue system so bad. So this is a concept that's been in my head for a long time, but somebody actually gave a name to it in the Discord channel recently. I should have looked up what that name was. But the idea is that a colony that has both green and blue can really go places. It can build. It can be as good as your first homeworld. It's like a factory. Not the green sacrifice type factory, but it can build any color and generate any color. It can build and then trade. It can be strong indeed to have a colony like that. And so that's why I keep thinking that Roger should move their green ship out instead of, and green should discover blue or something else. Just like Angle moved their blue ship to this system. That's now a very strong colony, I think. Look at that. They can, if they trade that red for yellow, then they've got all four colors there. But building the yellow at home, I think that's a good choice. Keeps Roger, it opens up the mediums, but Roger can't build it. And Angle doesn't want to get any, well, Angle wants to keep up on yellows. Sacrificing a little yellow to move red to that system. That, I think Algol wants to build the reds, but Roger can build a, oh, you know what? Oh, that's good. Okay, took me a minute. But I think that's quite good. I might have moved the, does it need to be the medium? I would have considered moving the small instead, but here we are. So you want to say here that Roger can sacrifice little green to build the R3 in Bleb, but actually, if they do that, they lose a star. Algol moves the R2 into Roger's home. It might even be worth it for Roger to lose a home star to get a flagship. But so it's an interesting decision Roger has to make. Okay, trading out for blue. Playing it safe. Yeah. Algol returns to building yellow. Yeah, I think they're just going to wait on the reds for now. Does Roger want to invade this colony? They'd have to sacrifice the little yellow to do it. Or try to take 2 turns to do it. Yeah. It's a good move by Roger. Algol isn't in a comfortable position to reinforce that colony. Oh, I was so sure that Roger was going to invade. But no, they're trading out for green. Roger's got a pretty good green advantage now. 3 ships in 2 systems as opposed to 2 ships in 1 system. But I think I like this even better. It makes a happy colony, all 4 colors. Algol with the 3rd yellow at home, that's not so good. Spreading out the yellows, that's better. So they both have a happy colony, but Roger's colony is a lot happier because it's got bigger ships. I love it when the video title comes into my head as I'm casting. I'm like, okay, so there are happy colonies, but some colonies are happier than others. Okay, Roger building green 2, definitely pulling ahead on the greens now. And I'm surprised that, even more surprised that Roger didn't invade that colony when there are, the more small ships you have in a system, generally the better it is to invade that system. Um, because that's more and more stuff that can't run away when you invade. Of course, if you have enough ships in that system, then you might be able to overpopulate an invader, but not so much the case here. I think Roger could have gained something by invading with one of their mediums. Algol, oh no, I think building the medium, well, the trouble with building the medium yellow is that Roger would get to build larges. Um, but just in principle, Algol should definitely be desiring to reinforce this colony. Discovering the last blue as a star opens up the largest for building, which Roger wouldn't mind building a large right now since Algol's only blue isn't connected. Algol will get a blue as well. Honestly, if I'm Algol, I would be thinking about a yellow shopping spree. Small one. Well, sacrifice the G3, build medium and large in Alti. Or maybe medium in Alti, large at home. And then build the G2 back at home, since their G2 was at home a minute ago. I don't know. I'd be thinking about it. No, that would leave 2 large yellows in the bank that Roger could build. Not so much. Okay. Okay, Algol just builds the medium yellow. Yeah, okay, so the trouble with this is Roger gets 2 large yellows by sacrificing the green 2. Oh, Roger, oh, no, Roger, well, they don't need to sacrifice the G2 because if Algol builds one of them, then Roger gets the other. Yep, okay. Except if Roger had done it the other way, then Roger would have ended it with it being their turn. So that the ships would be the same. So Roger would be out of G2, but it would be Roger's turn from right here. And if it's Roger's turn minus the G2, okay, I guess there's not all that much they can do actually. I thought maybe they'd have a chance to overpopulate Algol's greens and invade with a Y3, but they don't. Not quite enough red. Okay, Algol going back to the reds. This puts Roger's red's home star in danger. Roger wisely moves a red out. Is that the best place to put it? I mean, you don't want to put it with the rest of your ships in the colony because it cramps your red style. I guess leaving it in the open to potentially be invaded is fine. But leaving that ship helpless is probably okay right now because Algol's got a lot of more important things to think about. Sacrificing the green for a big red build, yeah, that's good. That's what you needed. Roger defending their Gilligan colony by building a red there. Okay. Now what's Algol got? Sacrificing Y2. Are they going to go for the star right now? Oh no, they're going to go for the... Going to blow up the flagship. Okay. I always think it's interesting when a player's got... Well, no. Algol... I thought they were going to end up with one more large ship than Roger had, but they don't. They've each got 3 large ships. Roger's got more mediums. Otherwise, things are even-ish. Roger sacrificing the green for a couple more reds. Um, can't complain about that too much. Although I think I would keep the G2. Roger's got Roger's got more green. I think Roger could get more of an economic advantage by continuing to build green. I think they need more. I think really what Roger needs is more space to build blue. Algol can build blue, but Roger can't. Algol moving the blue, yeah, into a position where it's connected to Roger's home, although it can't build here. Roger, oh, I don't especially like that. Well, could be worse, I guess. Let's see what Roger settles on. Making a Gillian of the small. Yeah, you definitely want more space to build red here. Algol, ignoring the upcoming red ship situation. Roger might even sacrifice the G3 to build both of these. I think they've got to just build one. Ooh, putting blue onto your blue star. A little spooky. Roger, I think, needs to separate their two motherships. And one of them needs to go out into the field. Roger needs more territory for building, I think. Roger builds the green. Algol puts their green onto a green star. I guess it's got to go somewhere. Roger also spreading out their greens. I think both players are eyeing the green at this point. How did... Oh, it's because... Okay, so Roger built the G2. I had been thinking about this move earlier, but I thought, oh, well, you'd have to sacrifice your G3 to do it. Once Roger had a G2, they could sacrifice it to leapfrog the medium red and get the rest of the red. Good on Roger. I think that's great. Algol picks up the last of the yellows. Roger builds green. Again, green is dwindling. Ooh, Algol with the Y2 sacrifice. What's this? Okay, they went for the trade. Oh, that's one thing about that Y2 is that it's better to sacrifice a Y2 than a Y3. When Roger set up that position with three reds together, Algol would have had to sacrifice their Y3 to blow it up. But once Algol had the Y2, they could do it a lot more cheaply. It's kind of, this might be boring to hear, but that's two moves in a row where I was thinking to myself, oh, well, they can't do that thing because they'd have to sacrifice their large to do it. But they built a medium, and then on the next turn they used a medium sacrifice for the same purpose. And it happens. It's a good thing. Roger trading for red. Algol doesn't have great ways to build those medium reds. Roger, improving the health of this colony so much by moving in a yellow, making that flagship mobile would feel so good. Trading for red instead, it's okay. But it puts red in their homeworld with a red star again. A little spooky. Algol, another happy colony. Roger spreads out the yellow, maybe. Yeah, putting the red somewhere safer. Yeah, they traded for it at home and then moved it out here. I mean, if that's what you got to do, it's what you got to do. But if there had been a way to trade one of these guys, I mean, if you build the green, well, they didn't want to build the green. Anyway, yeah, trading out the yellow that they had at home for that little red was probably good. I think I'm getting a little tired. I'm starting to babble a little too much. I'm going to try to stop. Okay, building a red 2 in Samori. Yeah, Roger can get out a red 2 as well. Now what? More blues. Yeah, Roger can't build blue. In fact, they've got to spread it out. Ooh, and putting more blue into a system that already has a blue star is a scary proposition. And even worse, um, that's not a place where Roger can build more blue. I think if I was Roger, I would be putting that in a medium yellow system where it can run away if it needs to, and it's also not contributing to a potential overpopulation of, most of your fleet. Yeah, that's better. Roger heard my mind. Heard me from the past. Algol building that medium green opens up the large greens. Doesn't want to do that. Well, oh, do they? Okay. Yeah, so so Roger can build that. Okay, so they committed to it, and Roger could build that G3 here in Bleb. Algol could sacrifice Y3 to overpopulate the green mothership, but Roger would still have the Y3 and be pretty safe. Roger doesn't like it anyway. Feel nervous? No, builds the G3, decides that's okay. Algol pushing the little yellow forward. I wonder. Algol doesn't quite have enough yellow that they could sacrifice Y3, overpopulate the green mothership, and start. And they could move in one yellow ship and then move in another yellow ship after that, but Algol needs another yellow ship before that really becomes a threat. Okay, Roger's spreading out the green, keeping that guy a little safer. Also opening up an opportunity to build large blues. Okay, Algol. This is turning into a really good game. I'm glad I did this one next. Hope you weren't too disappointed by game number 3000. A little bit of a blowout. Okay. Pushing forward the little blue. So Roger really wants to capture that with her blue stars at risk. Yeah, if Roger were to not capture this, Algol could, well, say Roger builds the B3. Algol can sacrifice G2, build the B2, build the B3 and build, say, the Y1. Or even rebuild the G2. Roger's really got to capture that B3, and then Algol can move into B1 for knocking out a star, and that's strong. So Roger can't afford to leave this uncaptured. No, Roger, uh-oh. No, you've got to capture this. Okay, does Algol see it? Do they know to build in Roger's home? No, this is the wrong move. No. Oh, Algol, you had this. And I mean, it's not over once you blow up one star, but they'd be blowing it up pretty cheaply, and they've got some red. They start making progress on Roger's red star. No, this is the wrong approach. Really, Roger thinking about trading this for blue. At this point, I might even, if Roger commits to this, I would probably forget about the invasion, sacrifice the Y2, and blow up Roger's colony. Yes, because the invasion's no good anymore. That's the other thing about this. Algol, though, sacrificing B2. A little color shuffle here. It put the B2 back in the bank, but they really want to keep it out of the bank to keep Roger from building it, so they do a double trade. This still has the problem that Algol could blow up your big colony and even things up. No, Algol missing. Oh, this could have been such a good game. some definite errors here. So Algol wants to free up that B3 piece for building. So they're trying to create some kind of threat here. Well, which they do a little bit. So Roger should capture both of these guys. And then Algol can sacrifice G2 to overpopulate one of Roger's large ships, but then Algol's completely out of blue. Roger going to ignore it again? No. Sacrifice G3 to clear out the reds. Huh. Okay. Oh, I liked Algol's position so much better a few turns ago. I think they had the chance to blow up the blue star, and they were going to be close on the red. Algol. They should still sacrifice the Y3 to blow up this colony because Roger's got that blue ship matching the blue star. Eek. Yeah, their second best choice, I think, was sacrifice the G2 to blow up the Y3 over here, but even, that's not going to be enough. They need to blow up the whole colony. Okay, Roger finally getting that colony safe. And Roger's just never going to let go of that blue, and this really isn't going to be a thing for long. Okay, so Algol wants to capture theirs back, be as annoying as possible. Roger puts a second ship into a colony where it can't run away, so Algol can invade. Algol finally captures that embassy. Those ships parked in their home. Algol sacrifices the R2 for some blue. Yeah. So Algol is back in the blue game slightly because Roger, a bit of a mess up by Roger, I think, to let that happen. Although Roger is also having trouble, I think, getting enough space to get into Algol's fortress. They're out of small pieces to discover as ways in. Maybe that's why they were moving more ships into Hunter Knox. I don't know. I don't know what the point of that was. Okay, Roger. They're saying it's go time. Roger's just about got a doomsday machine. I don't think it's quite there. Especially if you do it like this. Well, oh no, sure it is. Sure it is. Okay. Some days I'm not very smart. Well, oh, no, it's not. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's too early. So Roger can blow up this star, but and Roger is one turn from victory here. They sacrifice the Y3 and move with Algol's medium blue star destroyed. Medium stars are now connected, so Roger sacrifices Y3 to move in all the reds, and Roger wins. The problem is Algol has got just enough to come back from this. Sacrifice the Y3 to move 3 greens into Roger's home to overpopulate Roger's only defending ship. From here, Algol wins. Let's see if Roger commits. Roger commits. Now for the big question. Does Algol see the opportunity to fight back? A lot of times players when they've lost a star and they can see how their opponent could win, don't sufficiently look around for their ways to come back. So pretty close to 50-50 whether Algol sees this. In fact, I bet they don't. Nope, just the red build. Ah, Algol, you had this. This was your game a couple of times, both here at the end and earlier when you could have blown up that star with the green sacrifice. Oh, sad day. Well, but Algol did make a good fight of it. They put themselves into a winning position twice. They just didn't see the way to close it out. I guess Roger really put Algol into that second winning position. Ah, well, uh, Algol still has some skills to develop for sure, but I'm going to continue to have my eye on Algol as something of an up and comer. Thank you for joining me for 2 games this time. That's all for now.